Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Gem City Photons. This episode is called Pedantic Planning for Holiday Light Displays. So in this video, I'm going to talk about optimizing pixel purchases for cost and minimum soldering. And the reason I've got my spreadsheet pulled up here is I just kind of want to explain what I'm talking about. So I've got all these spreadsheets. I have this insane idea that I want to run my show at 100% brightness, which means that I have to really plan out power distribution and power injection, all that kind of stuff pretty meticulously. If you're running at 40%, a show my size, it can run on one outlet. But if you're running at 100, it can't. So I have all this stuff to plan this out. But anyway, down here I have what's called my strand list, strand table, and this is essentially, a strand is defined as all of the continuous runs of pixels with a termination point on either end. And then the orange stuff is a power injection point, and I've got like current calculations for each power injection point, and then I can assign those to power supplies and all that kind of stuff. That's neither here nor there for the point of this video. In this video, what I want to talk about is my segment list. So I have this list of segments or strands, right? These are these continuous where the 4-inch like wire in between the pixels is like unbroken for that length. And I was like sitting here racking my brain today on how to optimize the purchase. So let me give you an example. Let's say I need a strand of 52 pixels. Well, I'm going to have to cut a 100 pixel strand to get that. But that means that I have a strand of 48 pixels that still has at least one X-connect. Well, it has one X-connect on it, still connected. And later, somewhere else in my layout, I might need a 46 pixel strand. I want to know that I have that 48 pixel strand and just cut off 2 pixels and reuse it in that spot, if that makes sense. And I wanted to optimize for that. I was working on it earlier today in Google Sheets, and I was getting frustrated because I'm not really like a spreadsheet expert. And there's really, like, there may be other ways to do this, but the only way I was like kind of thinking is like a brute force iterative approach. And then I realized I'm a software engineer. Oh yeah, so I just wrote some code to do it. So this is the code that I wrote today. It's written in Go, and it's super hacky. Like, I didn't bother putting anything in CSVs or anything like that. But it basically just, I just have my list of all of my segments that I need for my layout, and then it iterates through that. And in that scenario that I talked about, let's say it needs a 52 count strand. First thing it does is, like if it's the first iteration, it's gonna buy a 100 count strand. But it takes it and cuts it, and it sticks that 48 pixel strand into what I call a remainder pool. And then for each iteration, it checks the remainder pool for the closest match that is at least or longer than the requirement. So in the case of 46, maybe the 48 is the closest match that is long enough. It uses that, and then it sticks the remaining 2 over in a pile I call the no termination pool. So that's just like, there's no X-connect left on it. It's just a couple of pixels with no connectors. So that's how this optimization works. It's a brute force and iterative. And then at the end, I get a summary. So we'll go ahead and run it here. And I did artificially slow this down just so we could see it working, because it's Go, it runs pretty fast. But I slowed it down so we can watch it. So I'm gonna run it, and you're gonna see it start to populate this array here. This is that remainder array. And then once we get down to 50 pixels, it's going to start pulling from that array. So you can see that array is shrinking in size, and then our no termination pool is growing. And it continues to optimize until it gets to the end, at which point we get an optimization summary. So I need to buy 31 100 count strands, 19 50 count strands. My no termination pool lengths, so this is all of the little, it's the cutoffs of the cutoffs is the way to think about it. So the longest one in here is 13. We have a bunch of 2s, a bunch of 9s, etc. These are going to basically go into a Rubbermaid tub for like repair stuff. Our remainder pool, I basically don't have. I have very few strands that are less than 20 pixels. So like these are the strands that still have one X connector on them that didn't get used. And then I total up the waste. So 232 in this pool, 150 in the unterminated pool, for a total of 382 wasted pixels. So that's how I solve this problem. What I'm really curious about is how you guys solve this problem, or if you did it all. You know, I imagine there's people out there that are like, well, my show is 3,500 pixels, so I'm just going to buy 5,000 and I'll figure it out. There's probably people like me that are kind of super pedantic and kind of want the best possible answer. And then I imagine there's people in the middle. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments, is like how you kind of solve this. Do you just buy pixels in bulk and figure it out, or do you kind of plan ahead? And then if you have any questions about this particular script or anything like that, I'd be happy to answer them. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.